Alrighty folks, this is Lurch from Ireland Gaming and welcome back to another episode of From the Depths. Today I am going to be building a totally thruster based aircraft, this time with some weapons, no wings, no tailplanes, no ailerons, just thrusters. So we start off much like we did with the last plane tutorial, by working out just how big we want our engine to be. Now we're going to need a little bit more power than we did last time because we need more thrusters overall. So I'm going to aim for about 300 and we're going to build this quickly. This is going to be, like I say, a little bit bigger than the other one. That looks good. So we've got about 300 now. Next we want to do our AI, our fuel. Oh, hang on. That's where. Yoink. It's loads better. Oh, I know. Squeeze a chair in here. There you go. Have a seat, Rambot. Now, AI, fuel and fuel processors. So that's our AI, fuel and fuel processor. Now at this stage I am going to put in a weapon system. I have opted in this case for 4 5-block missiles. Now if you're building a fast jet, it is strongly advised that you put ejectors on the launchers to ensure clearance from your craft, because they can't eject fast enough whenever you're moving at a high velocity, so the ejectors really help. Remember though, whenever you're building this, more faces in the airstream means more drag, so try and minimize this where at all possible. We're still going to need ammo processors and ammo barrels, but I'm going to put these in at the end after I place the thrusters. So I'm going to put a weapon system in here now. Okay, missile system in place, and it's time to start placing thrusters. So let's get some big ass thrusters. I want 3 on this. Not much to this ship, is there? So lots of thrusters for more speed. 3 of them should be plenty. On to the thruster craft part. Next we want thrusters for yaw control. Now yaw control is the left right, and we can place these either at the front or the back of our ship, facing to the left and right. Now the further from your center of mass, which is this blue / red / different colored indicator there, the further they are away from it, the better. So you really want to be placing them as far either forward or back. Now it would make more sense to get away up here, but for aerodynamics we're going to be putting them at the back here. Now these are our yaw thrusters. Now when you use these thrusters, the AI will assume they are at the front. So if you choose to place them behind the center of mass like I have here, you have to go into it and set the thruster reverse mode. And this will tell the AI that no, this is the opposite of what you want. So it'll mean that it'll turn in the correct direction when it receives a command to go left or right. Now with our yaw control sorted and our forward engines in place, we need pitch control. We want up and downwards facing thrusters. These are much the same as the yaw thrusters, as the further they are from the center of mass they are, the more effective they become. Also, when placing them at the rear of your ship, you must set them in reverse mode. It's the same way as the other ones, so let's get some here. Pitch is kind of important, so I'm going to put some on the bottom here as well. And again, like I say, thruster reverse mode. Now, with that in place, the AI should have the right idea on how to use those. Now, finally, we need roll control. They can be either upwards or downwards facing, or both. In this example, I'm going to use both. Again, further from center of mass improves their effectiveness. When configuring these, you must set them based on which side of the craft you have them placed on. The game will automatically detect which direction the thruster is facing. You just have to pick left for left roll thrusters and right for right roll thrusters. So on the left hand side we go there, and roll left hand side there, over here, roll right hand side, and roll right hand side. Oh, I almost forgot. You do need balloons to get this guy flying with thrusters, so let's get our balloons on somewhere. Now remember, you want to have them ahead of your center of mass so that whenever they do trigger, it'll pitch your ship upwards and give it a nice clear trajectory to get into the air. So you see it like it is here, it's just a little bit ahead of the center of mass and it'll pitch upwards a little bit. Now, before we start adding ammo and slopes to reduce drag, it's a good idea to test our craft and make sure everything's working. Now, don't worry too much about speed at this stage. The slopes will really help that. You might want to tweak the AI a little here, so we can go in and raise the cruise altitude just a little bit so that we get a better idea how it performs. And off we go. And wobbly. But it's going upwards correctly, it's heading to its altitude of 200 and... is it going back down? Yep, there we go. So we have a fairly stable craft. When you have a basic setup that you like, it's time to start equipping some ammo. You can really do this at any stage of the build, but I kind of like doing it last. I'm going to put an ammo processor here and put a bunch of ammo barrels in. Now these sort of small jets are going to go up like a firework with any sort of minor damage anyway, so like you see here, I'm pretty careless with where I place my ammo barrels. Now when you're happy with the ammo placement, it is slopey time. Basically you have to find every frontal surface and put at least a 2 meter slope in front of it. Now this will drastically reduce your drag and make your plane faster. I prefer to use 4 meter slopes pretty much everywhere, but you can use the triangle slopes as well for a bit of aesthetic at least. Okay, so there we have it. Sloped to the max. That looks pretty cool as well, I think. Let's set the AI. Angle of deviation before turn started. I'm going to set this to 15 just to get it a little bit more wobbly. Angle of deviation before we roll the turn, don't need to worry about that. This we don't want it to go upside down because it doesn't actually have any lift surfaces per se, so I like to set this to 90 to give it a maximum turn. Cruising altitude 175 is fine. 120, we can probably drop that to 100. Although, yeah, no, it'll be fine. It's a very fast craft, so we can get away with putting a higher attack run time. Distance below which probably 150 is flying quite high. Elapsed time before another attack run, it's very fast, so let's set that down a little bit. Okay, now we need to worry about our missiles as well, so yeah, that's a fairly hefty little payload. I just realized there's something very important that I forgot to add here. That is ejectors. Let's put them on now because it should be very easy. So that's our missiles configured, but we have to set the ejection angle. And I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, so that's the missiles configured to eject. These guys eject off to the sides, and the bottom, the middle to eject downwards. And that should get them away from the craft. The reason I wanted to go with a short range thruster is because of the delayed activation time. I like to set these with about 3.5 second drop time before they actually kick off, and it gives the one turns time to turn them around. It gives them a really cool flying arc. So let's see how this little fella flies. We're getting 156 meters per second. That is pretty damn good. So what you say we do a little bit of a montage and see how this guy performs. I do hope you enjoyed my little thrustercraft tutorial, and I hope it helps you build your own little thrustercraft. Remember, you can just double, quadruple, quintuple the amount of thrusters there to get a much faster craft, or controlling a much larger craft. And I really hope you have fun with it. Any likes, subs or comments are really awesome. I love hearing from you guys. I read every single comment, and I do my very best to reply to every one of them. As always, take it handy and have a bloody good day.